to get the knowledge that it's already our.
It's because of days, I would
Like
say,
this.
light saving time.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
1 hour gap because of the daylight.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. I think we'll get discussing while others could join us thereafter, because sometimes it becomes a little challenging waiting for the entire support ticket to get to know what challenges users are having trying to use a tool. But having a periodic, I would say, a town hall meeting like this really helps us to know what direction we need to evolve the tool to allow many persons to get the most out of the product. So that's why we deem it fit to occasionally run live discussions like this with our members to really know your challenges, your concerns, and how far you've been using, because your input also helps us to know in what direction we need to keep evolving. So we don't just do things as we perceive it to be fine, but rather it's actually what will help you in your day-to-day business. From our group, some persons mentioned that they were unable to load up Cubeet from their end. I don't know how many of us can load up Cubeet at his own end.
I can't.
Who's talking?
Run talker. The qubit is down on my end.
I mentioned try checking with your incognito browser
I
and be
did.
sure that it's up.
I did incognito. It's the same result. If there was a propagation of the domain, it's still not all over the place. If there was a propagation.
Your location, your server location, your internet location is Israel. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
Indeed.
Yeah, that could also be a concern if an issue with Israel. But I want to know how many are trying to log in as well. All right, so at this point, let me just share my screen. Okay. Let me know once you can see my screen at your end.
Yeah.
I just shared. Can you see it from your end?
Yeah. I'm in a Zoom meeting.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. All right. So I just want to open a totally new window. Yeah. So we get it from the top and you can see right away it's going to load it up. So if for any reason, first I would advise you clear your cache. From your cache, then you can go over to or switch browsers if that's a concern. So over here, I want to log in and point out some few updates and of course some improvements we've done, and on the list what we're looking at evolving further into, and to get your input in that. So far we got some feedback from our team of concerns when you try to delete your or interactions, which gives some person some concerns. And let's say you have an interactions like this, and you try deleting it, you notice that it appears everything is taken out and all of that. So we were able to fix up that concern. But something we are looking at, which will be updating in a short while, it's getting this interaction more interactive. By being interactive, we are looking at you being able to respond to your customers or your visitors who interact with any of your widgets from your website, or any who have accessed um, your instant landing page which you've set up. So when you do that and you click on it, we are looking at you being able to respond. So if the visitor came in through an email, then a notification response will be sent to the interacting email that a response has been given, and the user can go thereafter to check it up. And that will correspond with a conversation which we have here, which allows Cubeet to become as much interactive as we want it to be. So if you select this up, you can then pick up the last interaction and go ahead to respond to it. And it's going to be hitting to the visitor who interacted with your widget. So allowing you to use your Cubeet not just for engagement, but you can further extend it to run whatever kind of support you are looking at for your business. And that we're sure will also help you to improve on your conversions. Because imagine that someone is trying to find out about your product or about your services, and it just dropped a message, it did not go further, and immediately we are able to follow up with the interest and update the set visitor with some more content about your product or some more content about your services or whatever cause you promote. That will help to gain more interactions. And more in future, we'll see how we can introduce the chat GPT that will help you to analyze with AI bots interaction response system. That's for the future we are looking at when we are running other improvements. So we are just sharing this excitement because we also want to get your feedback on what you think about it, and how this can help improve your experience and what you're looking at for. Now, coming over to widgets, we've also had some improvement for most of our white label customers, though some expressed some concerns what they would want to see further. I have one in the room here, which is my good friend, Mr. Carlos. I'll be allowing him to talk thereafter. Okay, I'll be got that from Teresa. All right, I'm going to be checking up that. So I have Mr. Carlos, who also expressed concern that when you have a widget, instead of having the powered by Cubeet, which is also one way we show that the resources is powered by Cubeet. But when it comes to white label, he was considering that we take that totally out. So in as much as we want to satisfy our customers, we've also taken that into consideration to see how we bring that into a subsequent update. Now, for those in the white label, if you come over to profile, we also did implement a further update here. Most persons were having difficulty figuring out what IP address they are going to point their custom domain name server to. And when you type in your choice subdomain, it wasn't coming up correctly. So we've also fixed that up, which makes it to come correctly the way you see it here. So what this means is if I click on the subdomain, it comes up with your already provisioned SSL certificate, which also was an issue we had some couple of weeks ago. So we got that fixed up as well. So when you log into your subdomain, you can also see it looking like this. So this is a replica of what we have there. Another subdomain we have in here is yet another account I have. I think let me log out so we get some interesting actions to play on. So while I log it from that account, I want to log into yet another account. I think this, right? So if you have any concerns, you can use the chat function to drop your consent so I can quickly look into it and pick it up. Okay, I think this is it, what we wanted to look at. So, and this here, if I come over to profile, it's coming over to profile. Well, this is coming up, and if you come over to audience, which is what Teresa said it's good.
Oh, I never fed Darla. Never fed Darla. She didn't eat.
Yeah, I know. I tried to feed her, so she just wanted to be outside.
Let me say, have a concern there. Yeah, Teresa, I think this the audience you talked about. Yeah, you can see it came through rightly. So I'm trying to be sure what error you're getting at your end. As mentioned.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
There you go.
Seems we got disconnected at some point. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
Okay, it seems we got disconnected at some point. So I was trying to respond to Teresa's concern when you tried to visit the audience and tab, which she said she was encountering some error. So like I mentioned, this is purely going to be interactive. So I'm also going to be handing over the screen to anyone who would want to make a presentation of whatever challenges he or she is encountering. So we take it on record at a real time and see how we can proceed from there. So what I was pointing out on was this account, how you can play around with your account, and of course, your CNAME record, which is pointed here, and how you set your subdomain, which is what you can see right over here. And when you click on it, it takes you on to your subdomain. And of course, you can always come back to this parent domain if that's what you've pointed it at. So you see
Joshua,
like this.
we're not seeing.
Yeah,
Joshua,
coming to
we're not
Carlos.
seeing your screen. Hi.
Yeah.
Yes, we're not seeing your screen.
Mm-hmm. You don't see my screen, you said?
No, I see a picture of you only.
Okay, let me be sure you share the screen. Right, I just reshared it. Confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Perfect.
Most welcome.
Perfect.
Okay. So sorry, I didn't know the screen wasn't active. All right, so far, this was also a concern that Carlos had, that when it comes to pointing your logo for the login page, we should consider having like two versions of logo, having a colored background logo and a transparent background logo. So so far, what it is at the moment, it's still what it has been, which is for your logo. Like you could see, the logo right here is not really transparent enough, or rather, it's not really visible enough. So what it means is, for my logo to be visible enough, I just need to pop the color up a little and make the logo to be standing, and that gets that fixed up. But in future, we would also be looking in that direction to see how we can allow you to have some more options to play around in your customizations. Okay, All right. So when it comes on to linking your white label domain, we recommend that you work with Cloudflare because Cloudflare has some third-party security functionality, which we're leveraging on at the moment. So for you to do that, all you need to do is own a Cloudflare account, and your Cloudflare account, you just do exactly what we did here. Either you create a CNAME record or you create an ANAME record pointing it to this IP, and of course, having your domain hosted in it. And that handles your white label setup for you, which is the same thing you have when you come over to generate your widget, which is the same thing which was fixed up. So when you click to generate your widget, you can point in your widget name. So could just say DFY leads. Let's just say if this is what you want to use it for, and whatever the domain is, you could just have HTTPS. So let's just have DFY leads.com, whatever it is. So you can specify how you want your layout, and when you're done, you can generate to create it. So in this case, because I created it right inside of Cubeet widget, it's taking up the parent domain name, which is here. If I was to come over to do the same account over here, now what that means is I can get my domain up in my choice or domain, which is what we have here. So if I come over to the same account here, so you see, because we have this account here, it's pointed to talkrace.cubeet.io as the last time when we created it. So you can always point your domain in there and get things done. Now on integrations, we also had concerns with integrations, which got it fixed. We had a duplicate of our active campaign, which we already got that fixed. So that duplicate, we've got it out, and we have all integrations working correctly. So if you have any challenges, you can also do well to share it. Again, coming back to templates, we also had some concerns with our editor, which we also got it fixed up. That's when it comes to trying to fetch your royalty stock images or videos. We had concerns with it, which we already got it fixed up. So in case you want to use any of this template, you can go use it up. And if you want to go from scratch, you can just come over and pick it up from scratch over here. Right, so over here, of course, depending on what you want to do, let's say if we're working with presenter, and down here, when you select your presenter, just like it's loading up. I think my network is not really friendly. I'm actually at a new location, so I think my network is pretty challenging. Okay, all right. So before now, when you try to fetch what's happening here, it wasn't coming through, but we got that fixed up. And at the moment, everything is working correctly. You can search for your choice royalty image or videos that you want to use for your design. So if I'm working with this, I can then have that display on my template, and that picks it up. Another concern we had was with you generating your thumbnail, which is what helps in fixing the avatar or the attractive, eye-catching image that you need in your designs. Okay, so we have a video right there. So whatever it is you want to do with your video setup, you can go ahead, do it. And if you want to get feedback, you can then come over here to drop in your feedback interaction tool. And like all of these, you can also use the funnel or pointing functionality if you want to get it redirected, and you get it redirected to your choice flow that you want to work with. Because I don't have a flow here, so it's not selecting for me. So once I have this set up, already have video here, I could just say, so this could be testimonial. Like I mentioned, you could use a solution for testimonial. So kindly share your testimonial with your use of Cubeet. So I don't have a flow there. So once this is done, I can just come over here to say generate thumbnail. And this is going to get our thumbnail generated, which is what it's going to be using for the presentation. And once that is done, you can then go over to export the flow. Right, great. So we have a thumbnail saved successfully. We had errors with it, so we already got it fixed up. So we have the thumbnail showing up right there. So I can then come over to say export this flow, and it's going to get everything exported for us. I can then go over to edit whatever I want to edit. If I want to come over into the summary, okay, just got that error now. So once you get into the summary here, I can just rename this to be testimonial. Right, so once I've gotten that done, I can then come over to say save. Right, so successfully saved that. I can, of course, share the video using the shot here. Great. So wherever you share this, you can use it to gather your feedbacks, testimonial on video, audio, and text, which you can use for any of the products or services you would like to promote. So basically, these are some of the updates we've brought in, and some of the fixes we've made with Cubeet, so as to allow our customers to have the best use of it. So most of our customers are already using it as consultants, and they're already using it to improve engagement on their website. So at this point, we would want to know, how have you been using Cubeet, and what improvement are you looking at for? And so that we take it up from there. So at this point, it's now moved on to you. So right on the call here, I have Brian, I have Marshall Altberg, I have Carlos, I have Carlos Connor, I have John Bartley, I have Ronnie Tucker, I have Teresa. Right, so you can do well to unmute your mic, and let's get to hear from you.
Okay, well, yeah, I've been using it primarily on my website that I use to try to aggregate people that want to get loans. So it's successful in that way, that people are able to actually reach out to me first. They know that I'm a real person before they click on a link to submit an application. So I really like it. The one thing I had asked you about that I know you said it would be possible in the future would be the ability to assign agents. So instead of just clicking on my widget and getting me directly, they have a choice of any one of the agents that we have listed. So I know that's something you said that might be possible down the future. And that would actually make it really viable for larger companies that have multiple people working.
Okay, that's nice, Carlos. All right, so we are looking at having more like a sub account to your users in your organization, where you could have either service support 1, service support 2, HRO specialists,
Yes.
and or just such kind of organizational flow where you can route whatever concerns that come in from your website visitors, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay. All right, so we've taken that into consideration, and we'll see how we played out from there. So we want to say thank you so far for your patience, your support, and your contribution, and we truly appreciate it. It's your trust in the product that has also kept us going, and get to see how we could keep improving the product to really meet up with your business need. Because I've always been an advocate of whenever you invest into products, you should at least be able to get the result back from the product. Or if you are looking at making money from the product, you should be able to make back the original investment which you got into the product. So I've always been an advocate of that. And that's why I'm also dedicated to work with my team to see that we get results and help our users to also get the results for which they invested into a product for.
And that's what I've come to know and trust about you, that you do keep your word and you continue to, just exceed expectations.
Thank you very much. All right, Teresa, I don't know at this point, can you share your screen? Let's know what challenges you're having at your end, so I could also have it on record and share it with the support team. So we take it up from there if it's a good time for you to do so.
Yes, I'm trying to, but you have not enabled screen sharing.
Okay. I think I need to allow you to share your screen, and
Right.
there with me, I have to give you some power, and the power I have to put in your hands will mean making you the host. All right, that's it. I approve it. I've granted you some power.
Okay.
All right, Teresa.
Yeah, I'm working on it. It just is not it's not popping up the window for me to show you. So,
Okay.
yeah, and I logged out and tried to log back in. I tried both the incognito and the regular Chrome. I'm still getting now I cannot log in whatsoever. The first time I logged in, I could get the overview, but I could not get any other tabs to work.
Okay, this is what I would advise too. If you're finding it difficult to pick up what you want to pick up, I think at this point you can do well to leverage on the Skype channel, which we've created, because it's one way I want to keep in touch with the customers, really getting direct response from our members so as to allow us over real time to really visit this concern. So I'm resharing that on the chat so you can pick it up. If you are not a member yet inside the group, you can do well to join the chat, the Skype chat group, and drop these concerns directly so we investigate. If it's just a challenge with your account alone, then we know what else we need to improve on your account profile type and what adjustment we need to make. And if it's not, if it's a global issue, then it also helps us to quickly address it before every other user could get to experience it at the end too.
Okay.
All right, so far we'll be looking at having yet another interactive section this coming week. So I would send out a mail all the time and get your response on that.
Joshua, can I ask something?
Okay, Ronnie, go ahead.
Okay, first, the Cubeet site is on now. It came back. So
Okay, it's back at your end. Okay.
yeah, on my end. So it's good now. I could log in. So thank you.
Okay. All right. Congratulations.
Thanks. Now, quick question. I asked it
Go ahead.
also in the last webinar.
Okay.
Is there a way that in the near future we can control the size and the shape of the not the widget box, but the circle? Right now, when I put the flow in the website, the widget,
Mm-hmm.
I can either choose a circle or a square,
A square. Yeah, that's correct.
and the size is fixed. I can't either change the size of this circle or this square. And I also can't use a custom shape of mine, like a button or avatar or whatever. So would it be possible for you to create us more flexibility?
Okay.
It's really important. It can be a game changer if we can either control the shape and or the size. Very, very powerful.
Okay, that's the floating widget icon. That's what you're talking about, the floating overlay widget icon. So you're looking at being able to upload your own avatar or adjusting the shape however you want it, right?
Yeah, or the size. If I can
Or
make
the
it,
size.
you know, like a big circle, small circle. Either way,
Okay.
more flexibility is needed if it's possible. It can be a
Okay.
truly game changer.
Okay, I think that will bring it around here because that's what is controlling that section. I will discuss it with the team and see what we can do from there. That will rather come in here, just like you have choose a layout, cycle, or square. Then we could have an option here that said custom. So when it comes to custom is an ability for you to upload your own choice avatar or your own choice image that you want. But if we have it cycle, then we could have a second drop down option that says small size, medium size, or large size.
Yeah, for example, yeah, that can be a cool.
Okay. All right. So we'll take that into consideration and see how we can work things out.
Thank you.
Yeah, Brian, with suggestions with sub accounts for agents. Yeah, Carlos has already mentioned that, and we'll be taking it to the team. Brian, you can join the group with this team, and of course, you can follow the link for the private VIP support that you requested for, so that we check up and guide you properly on what you want to achieve.
Right. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome, Brian. So in about 5 minutes or less, we'll be closing up on this call. So whatever further concerns you have, you can bring it on. Then Brian, we can then move on to the special VIP one-on-one care with your accounts to know what concerns you have.
Great, that would be wonderful.
Okay.
I was actually in the Texas State Guard.
All right. So once again, I want to appreciate express my sincere appreciation for your time and making it to this call, because it really helps us to keep an edge in trying to make the application up to what you want it to be. Yeah, when it comes to support, like mentioned, you can always send your support ticket to hello@cubeet.io. That automatically creates a support ticket for you, which allows the team, anyone, which I could also jump in to also check in what's happening. But the group will want to hold on to this group with all carefulness and also respect everyone's opinion. It's an avenue I want to create for us to have a real-time live interactions, so that we really know how things are going and what challenges we are having, so that our support team could also swing into action. Because it's one thing when you are working remotely and you have a digital product like what we have with Cubeet, is yet another thing to understand that there are humans like yourself who are behind the screen or who are over at the other part of the scene using this product. When you don't get to interact with them one-on-one like this, you don't get to know their pains, you don't get to share their feelings. So that's exactly what we want to bring into the culture of our product, to really interact and connect with our users so that we could also share in their emotions and see how to make products work the way they want it to work.
Typically, these normal moves for one, with limited database, the Delta team is quickly fall into complicated rules.
This environment, this isn't a place that.
Can you please, guys, unmute yourself, because there is a noise and we can't hear Joshua. If
Okay,
everyone can unmute themselves.
And the quarters that Jordan salvaged from the parachute drop.
I think it's better now. All right, okay.
Much better.
Okay. All right. So all I was saying, it's like the support, you can always use the hello@cubeet.io. But the idea why we created the Skype group is to allow the entire team, as well as yourself, to know that our users are humans like ourselves. They have emotions, they have their concerns. So if we don't get to interact one-on-one like this, we get to be driven away by the thought of the cloud whole idea of computing, because you get to see everyone as just being virtual. They are not real persons in the picture. No. So we are also trying to discipline ourselves to see our customers as real humans who are also having real challenges, who are also having real concerns. So that's why we took the step further to create this interactive group. So I would want to plead that we respect it and also respect every other person's opinion, and want to keep it as calm and cool as possible so that we could continue working together as a team. Yes, Ronnie. Yes, we can do so. All right. So far, I thank everyone for making it live to this call. So we're sending out for the mail. And of course,